All right, let's take you back to Inanda now, where President Cyril Ramaphosa is currently speaking to the members of the media.
It's people, not only members, but people in the community. And this is how our branches should work, to be amongst the people, to intervene when there are moments of hardship. And this is what I've just been told. And also to meet new-time voters or first-time voters. I met 3 young people who had never voted before. One was 26, but he says he now has reason to vote because he has seen the works of the ANC, and 2 young people who are voting for the first time who are also beneficiaries, who are my tinswalos. Now these are my real tinswalos because they are real. They have testimonials about what we have been doing in the past 5 years, in the past 30 years. So I'm glad to be in this area, and my spirits are really lifted. This is when I have a feel, sense and smell and sight of the ANC victory in this election, because the people love the ANC because they can see what the ANC has done and is doing. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we take 2 or 3 questions? Okay, number 1, number 2, number 3. 3 questions only, then the president moves.
Yes.
Mr. President, Inanda from ANC, thank you very much for your time. The people have told you about the lack of a clinic in the area, a school, the issue of water, but most importantly, the bridge where you were dropped off. It's been in the making for years, since 2021. It's been disrupted by business forums. What projects that must benefit people are fast-tracked? If you can indulge us on another matter between Israel and Iran, please, the escalation there. What is South Africa's position?
Well, with regard to the escalation of the conflict and tensions between Israel and Iran, we warned right at the beginning of this conflict that unless it is resolved and unless the big powers in the world intervene to ensure that there is a ceasefire in Israel, the war will start spreading. And we regret that. And that is why we are calling for restraint and in that theater, not to escalate the conflict. And that is South Africa's full and main stance. We do not want to see any form of further escalation of that conflict. That conflict must come to an end, and we will continue calling for that until sense does prevail. And we believe that sense is beginning to prevail in a number of countries in the world. They are in many ways heeding the call that we made right from the beginning. Being here in this area has told me that work has been done in the past, continues to be done. The bridge that we just went past, which is being rebuilt now, was damaged as a result of the floods. And with all the budgetary restraints that we have, we've been building bit by bit and rebuilding not only people's lives, but also rebuilding their infrastructure. Yes, we also had a request for a clinic. Now, the clinic is also an issue of budgetary restraints, but we do have a mobile clinic that comes here once a week with doctors and nurses, meaning that where there is a gap, we do fill that gap by demonstrating our care for the people of our country. With regard to schools, there's a school site that has been identified here, and that school site is going to soon have a school. That's precisely what we are determined to do. So come in a little while, you will find a school has risen from the ground in this place. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, Samkelo Masego, see 2 questions. Tomorrow you are going to where Mtumiseni Ntuli is from.
Yes.
Kwatlimba. Yes. Those people in that specific area have been struggling with water. I've seen the MEC of Transport and Sipo Shlomuga and Timbo Ntuli, the councillor in that specific ward, addressing water issues. You go to Guamashu, they've been without water sometimes for about 3 weeks. You've set up a ministerial task team chaired by the Deputy President of the country to look into water issues. He was just here last week. When can the people of eThekwini Metro Municipality finally have the infrastructure backlogs that are there, that have been destroyed by the floods, have water flowing through their taps? And secondly, sometimes they don't have electricity. It's either you have water, if you have water, you don't have electricity, vice versa. When do you solve those specific issues? Then lastly, you are in a region where you've seen your predecessor, making inroads with his other political formation now. How do you counter them in blocking them from taking this particular metro? Thank you.
The ANC has an overarching presence in KZN. And all other political parties that are emerging yesterday and so on are trying to nibble at the edges. And all they will ever do is to nibble at the edges. The ANC has great hegemony here, and we will emerge victorious because the people of KZN and indeed the people of South Africa love the ANC, and we're going to surprise you and many others who think that no, the ANC is not going to have a clear majority. We are going to have a clear majority. So even a recent making of a party called MK Party will see what the ANC is all about, even here in KZN. I have no doubt about that. Our strength and our support here is quite strong. The people of eThekwini with issues of water, and the Minister of Water and Sanitation has been here many times, and we have a plan. We are addressing the issue of water in this province. I established 2 entities, one to be headed by the Deputy President Task Team on Water, and he's working on that. But I also established a presidential working group on eThekwini, to make sure that we address the challenges not only of water but of electricity and a whole number of other things, including infrastructure. So we are busy at work. We are not sitting on our laurels. And as it is now, the water issue is being addressed. We are bringing out these big tanks that are going to be installed in a number of places. Procurement has already happened. We are going to have up to 400 and more tanks that will be installed in nearby places so that people can draw water, so that they don't just keep following the water tankers. So that is an interim solution. The more permanent solution is to repair the infrastructure. Most of it was washed away by the floods. KZN and eThekwini especially is a disaster-prone area, and we now need to have a more long-term plan, and this is what the Presidential Working Group is also going to looking at when we are bringing together business, the government, unions, and community-based organizations, so that we have a holistic plan of addressing these problems. No other party has the capability to do so other than the ANC, and we will do so.
Thanks, President. You answered the third question before it was asked, so we can go now.
All right, ANC President there in his capacity as ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa, currently in Inanda there, and we understand that he's got a very packed itinerary. He's still supposed to go to Amaoti, where we saw Mlungisi eagerly awaiting to hand him that CV. And I'm sure you saw part of the president's entourage there includes, of course, from the province, Boniso Duma, as well as a councillor from Inanda. We also saw Mdumiseni Ntuli, who also hails not far from where the president was currently speaking now, which is in KwaXimba. And we also understand that Zizi Kodwa as well as Colin Malachi also form part of that delegation.